live on the tube of you. I am live on the Tiki Talk, and I am ready. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. My name is Allison. I am the multi-dimensional healer. I am a spiritual empowerment coach for women who are in midlife. I'm also a Reiki master healer and teacher. So I am super excited to be here with everybody. Everybody. So today, we have a very interesting topic to talk about. This is very much in my lane of expertise because we're going to talk about personal power and stepping into your personal power. So, um, the first thing I want to do is I want to pull a card to get everything started, and then I'll pull a card at the end to kind of bring everything together. Okay. So we're going to be pulling from Priestess of Light Oracle. Priestess of Light Oracle. Excuse me. Because I wanted to revel in some divine feminine energy. So everybody point your energy to the cards to see what does Spirit have for us regarding personal power. All right. And thank you all for sharing and reposting the live. Thank you for all the gifts and everything. The hearts, keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yes. Soul radiance. Soul radiance. Look at that. Soul radiance. And it says Phoenix rising. This is good. Card number. Oh, oh, okay. So for those that are into numerology, the card number is 53. And if you add 5 and 3 together, what number do you get? 8. That's going to be important in just a little while when I get into my message. So hold your mute. Let's talk about it. So card number 53, Phoenix rising. All right. This radiant priestess calls out that your ultimate victory is at hand. Mhm. Her arms and wings are raised in salutation. A new beginning is arriving after a long and perhaps difficult time. In fact, you are about to take the flight of the phoenix and rise above the ashes of some old, unwanted fire. Hello, Goddess Chantel. I'm going to say that part again. You are about to take the flight of the phoenix and rise above the ashes of some old, unwanted fire. I want y'all to just sit in that for just a minute and think about all that unwanted energy that you are ready to rise above like a phoenix and take flight. This fire may have taken different forms: work or finances, relationships or health issues to varying degrees. It may have seemed like an interminable dry spell. Interminable? I don't know. Dry spell. A lengthy period of waiting for change or longing for a resolution. Or the fire may have been much more severe, involving loss, anxiety, and deep grief. There may have even been times when you felt the difficulties would consume you. Anybody been feeling like that? Like all these things that we're going through felt like it's about to swallow you up and consume you, and you feel like nothing has been working, everything has been working against you. But I'm here to tell you, my dear sisters that are watching, and even for the beautiful men who do tune in to my broadcast, peace to you, kings. I want to tell you that right now, your soul is radiating because you are rising. You are rising. Somebody type, I am rising. This card is telling you that those times are coming to an end. A newfound sense of freedom arises. But don't forget, the source of real power and freedom is always within you. This is so fitting to what I was going to talk about today, y'all, that it's like, whew, all right. When you find yourself living through a dark night of the soul, remember the presence and truth of your spirit. Your soul's resonant frequency vibrates with divine light that no darkness can diminish. It is only when you obsess about personal problems that you feel surrounded by loss and limitation. But you must let that false view go. Real solutions arise when you open up to the power of your internal truth and perspective. So if you're still trying to overcome a difficult situation, or something has caused self-doubt or a loss of courage, pause to meditate on your own unerring, unending light. For it is the divine frequency, your soul radiance, that will finally lift you above old limitations into free, unfettered flight. I'm going to give you the affirmation in a minute, but this is very, very fitting to what I'm talking about today, because today we're talking about stepping into and embodying your personal power. So the affirmation says, I feel the power of my soul radiating outward in beautiful, resonant vibrations. Success is coming to me now. Everybody type, success is coming to me now in the comments. If you want to affirm that, I don't care if you don't even really believe it. I don't care if you've been going through and going through and going through, and it seems like nothing is working. It is working. That is what this card is here. Yes, God is Aaron. Success is coming to me now. Affirm that. Affirm that. Because yes, God is quantum destiny now. Success is coming to me. She said it in capital letters, the me. Yes. Now. Absolutely. Yes. So let's all take a collective deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to just sit in that energy, sit in that message. Powerful message, right on time message. I'm going to show the card one more time. One more time. For my TikTok people, I'm going to mirror this real quick so you can see the card if you want to take a screenshot for it. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, and we're going back because it feels backwards and I don't like that feeling. All right, come on now. All right, come on. Ugh, this thing is irritating. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I want to talk about us stepping into personal power. The reason why I want to talk about this is, do you know what today is? No, it's not an anniversary. But I had to, do that. Today, July 28th, 2026, represents the portal of the Lionsgate opening up. See, a lot of people associate it on August 8th, but that is just when it peaks intensity. The portal opens today. So the portal opens officially today, and that means that some energy is shifting. So, what this means is Earth aligns with the sun in Leo and the star Sirius. So this is a powerful window of setting intentions, practicing meditation, and focusing on your personal power. So right now, energetically, this is the time for you to start focusing on your personal power. If you've been feeling powerless, if you've been feeling overcome and overwhelmed with obstacles and things just keep getting in the way. I'm giving you this today to tell you today, make up your mind to step into your personal power. Now, as you can see, my wrap is yellow. Yes, yes. So I'm wearing this because let's talk about the chakra energy of the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the nucleus. It is the last chakra of the matter. So what does that mean? So you have the seven main chakras. Before anybody says anything, yes, there are other chakras in your body. Okay, look, I already acknowledged that, and I know this. Okay, I've studied them. Okay, but we're gonna talk about the seven main ones because it never fails. Somebody always got to get into the comments. Well, actually, there's more than the seven. I know. Calm down. Okay. Now, so let's talk about the seven main ones. You're welcome, goddess. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I do. So let's talk about the main seven. So let's start from the top. And as you can see, I have them behind me. So at the top of your head, you have your crown. The crown is the connection to spirit. This is where spirit enters the body. Next place is your third eye, which is right there in between, right there. Ooh, it feels good to tap. And I think I'm going to do a EFT tapping circle soon, so stay tuned. But right here, this is the third eye. The third eye is associated with vision, with dreams, intuition. Then you have the throat. Your throat chakra is about your purpose, your truth, speaking the truth, and also hearing the truth. Because remember, your ears and your throat are connected. That's why it's called ear, nose, and throat. These are all, this takes in, this takes in. So since they are connected to the throat, be careful of what you are taking in, right? Mm-hmm. Um, but it is your truth, right? So these three are the spirit. The three of them make up the spirit, okay? So then you have the root, which is at your tailbone, the sacral, which is in the womb space of women, and then, the abdomens of men. And then the solar plexus is right underneath the breastbone and above the navel. And some people call it the navel chakra. Those three create or make up the matter, or what I like to say, this is the human part of us, the flesh part of us. So you've got the spirit and the flesh. The heart, right here, the heart chakra, that is your bridge. And this is what bridges the spirit and flesh part of you together. Everybody following me? So when you get into the bridge, the first stop after the bridge is your solar plexus. Solar plexus governs your identity, your personal power. This is where confidence and ego. Now remember, ego can be negative and positive. You don't want to fall into the negative ego. I'm not going to go into a big lesson about this. If you want to learn more about this, then I suggest you join my membership because I talk a lot. I'm going to be talking a lot about the chakra energy and how we can do better to take care of our energy. But the solar plexus also has a lot to do with your purpose. So the solar plexus and the throat have some commonalities in that sense. Because remember, as above, so below. So if it's in your, it's a part of you in flesh, it's also a part of you in spirit. Just putting that out there. Because like I also say, I also teach how the third eye and the sacral are connected. Because in the sacral, that is where your creativity lies. And also the divine feminine energy. Well, intuition is often associated with the feminine. Also, it's hard to create if your vision is blurry. That's a whole other lesson as well. So I'm going to stay focused on the point at hand. So let's go into and talking about the sacral, the solar plexus, excuse me, as far as stepping into your personal power. So if you're thinking about you've been feeling blocked in those areas, you are struggling with your identity. A lot of women, when they get into a certain point of their lives, things start to shift, and you're shifting from this one identity that you had, and you're going into this new identity. Because, like, for me, this is why when I first started, I talked about starting over at 40. Because when I hit that point, that's when stuff started shifting for me and changing for me. And I started looking at myself because my son graduated from high school. He was 18 now. And it's like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Because my whole life has been dedicated to taking care of him. I've gone just completely into mommy mode. So if I'm not mommy, who the hell am I? And I do talk about this in my book, Starting Over at 40. But if I'm not his mama, then who am I? I mean, I know I'm still his mama, but I don't have to do those mommy things of waking him up, making sure he's got lunch money, making sure he's doing his homework, making sure he gets to football practice or orchestra events on time, making sure that he has everything that he needs, going back to school shopping, and all those things that come with parenthood, motherhood, right? Well, if he's considered grown, I'm not doing that anymore. So now I have a lot more time to focus on me. Problem was, I never really sat with me before. I never really explored me, my likes, my dislikes, my wants, my needs. Never really thought about them. Never did until that moment. Then I started freaking out. Because I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do this? Nobody told me how this was supposed to go. The only thing they said is, wow, he's 18. He's about to go off to school or whatever. And now you should be celebrating. Well, I am. I'm incredibly proud of him. But what about me? What am I supposed to do? Once I finish celebrating, then what? Then what? What am I supposed to do? So I had to start exploring the possibilities of this new life. And at first, I really didn't have guidance. I was not fully tapped into my ancestor uh, consulting with my ancestors, spirit guides. I was going through my spiritual awakening at that time. So I was like, oh, okay, this is great. So now I'm going through this, and then I'm having this identity crisis. Like, what the hell? What's going on? But then I started learning about energy. I started learning about the chakras, and I started really understanding that my solar plexus, I needed to really work on that because I didn't have my own identity. All I had was the identity of being a mother. That was it. I stepped in that, and listen, couldn't find a woman more proud to be a mother. I'm still very proud of being a mother. I love being a mother to my son. But I now understand that a lot of my mothering meant that I shut the door on my own identity. And I had to recognize that and work on that. So it came with this process of reparenting myself, learning about what do I like, what don't I like, and things like that. So we start stepping into our new identity at this juncture. Then, we have all the other fun stuff that starts happening, like perimenopause. Perimenopause makes you start forgetting things like your own freaking name. The brain fog comes in, and all the hot flashes and all the other weirdness. And I think it was Goddess Chantel who said it's like puberty 2.0, and I've never forgotten that, because yes, it is very much so. So when we start thinking about stepping into our personal power and start thinking about some of the things that we need to do to find who we are. Let me see if I can find some of those journaling prompts real quick. Real quick, real quick. Because understanding who we are, finding who we are in this new part of our lives, the awakened energy, is really important and really key. That's why I said when this came up, if you look at some of the things that came through, when it says, where is that got me? Hold on, I'm gonna find it. We do have this newfound sense of power. Still trying to get my mom to find who she is outside of mom and nurse, and I'm almost 40. I'm gonna tell you, um, you're just gonna have to the best way to do that is to live by example. Show her. Because some people are not, it's that everybody can go. Everybody is not going to understand it. Um, we want to go in and we want to save the people that we love and show them the way. And trust me, I do it all the time because I want my loved ones, the people that I care about, to find their way. But I also have made peace with the fact that they may never. And that's not on me, that's on them. I do my part. I impart wisdom when I'm led to do so. But then I'm also instructed at times to shut the fuck up and don't say nothing because they're not ready to receive it. The other part of that is we have to learn that there's power in planting seeds, but it's up to them to water them. So plant the seeds, but let them tend to them themselves, because that's what it's about. You can only do so much, and that's where it lands. That's where it lands. So going back to the solar plexus. So let's think about this when it comes to your personal power. What are the things that are in your life that you feel at this moment are making you feel powerless? What are the things that make you feel powerless? And then I want you to flip it. What makes me feel powerful? What is it in my life? What is it that I do that makes me feel empowered? That makes me feel like I can take on the world? Because I'm stepping into who I really am. Because the truth of the matter is, it's really not that it's a new identity. It's just this is who you've been all along, but now you're coming into it all the more because you're starting to shed those old stories, those old limiting beliefs, those old things and narratives that we were taught to have. Because think about it. Many of us grew up going to church. There's some whole hell of a lot of limiting beliefs in that, right? Then in wherever we grew up in our communities, how our family life and dynamics are. And then not to mention, as Black people, what's in our DNA ancestrally of trauma and things like that. But if we focus on not just the trauma in the DNA and think about a lot of the triumph that's in our DNA, because that's there too. A lot of times we're looking for the trauma because, of course, we want to address it, we want to fix it, we want to release it. But there's also triumph there. There's also wonderful things in your ancestry that you can lean into. What I believe is very empowering at this moment is for you to begin your journey of tapping into your ancestors and talking with them. Please understand, you do not have to have an ancestor altar to connect with your ancestors. Why do you not need one? Why is it not necessary? Anybody know? It's because you are the first altar. You know how we've always, heard the phrase your body is a temple? Yes, the ancestors are in us. When we hear our body is a temple, that's actually true. So that's why I say when it comes to the power in your throat chakra, what are you taking in? What are you taking in? What are you taking in? Because what you're taking in is is affecting you and keeping you from living in your truth and being who you are. Because it also goes down and affects all the others. So, what I tend to tell people, especially me as a Reiki practitioner, when I'm doing Reiki, some people will say, you know what, my heart chakra is just off. Or they'll say things like, my root chakra is just off. And they may very well be. But you know what almost always happens? Once I get in there and I start giving them Reiki, I'm like, yeah, it's not just the root, babes. It's not. And the root is actually not as bad as they think it is. But the others are thrown all the way off. And so I go in there to see if I can start clearing some of the energy so that they can have flow. And that's what we want, right? We want the flow of the energy to go through from the crown to the root to the crown. But that solar plexus, though, I want you to really start doing some things to focus on that while we're in this energy. Because in order for you to step into your personal power, you're going to have to shift some beliefs. Because some people may have an overactive solar plexus. And an overactive solar plexus, let's talk about that. So, with an overactive solar plexus, you're quick to get mad or frustrated, or you're overly aggressive. You try to boss people around and you're very controlling. You want to control. You want to micromanage all situations. Thank you. Hey, goddess. You're very judgmental. You're judgmental of others and you're really judgmental of yourself. And you're being very hard on yourself. And then there's the ego. You're doing selfish things where, everything is me, 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 me. And yeah, you're being stubborn, overly competitive. And listen, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. What we can do though is start practicing finding our calm. That's why I said in this portal of the Lionsgate opening up, this is the time to get into your meditation. And listen, let's stop over complicating meditation. Meditation can be just as simple as you sitting down and breathing. Turn everything off, just sit down and breathe. Let the natural rhythm of your breath cleanse because that's what it does naturally. We think we have to create these robust rituals all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good ritual. I have a lot of them in my book, my latest book. But you don't always have to have that. Sometimes your meditation can be as simple as you just sitting down and breathing naturally, or doing some intentional breathing. It really does not have to be complicated. It doesn't. So stop making this so complicated. Just calm down, slow down. That's a big thing. Slow down, sit down, and allow yourself to breathe. And also understand this, it is human for our minds to wander. What I tell my Reiki clients is this, because I know sitting there for like 30 minutes and not moving and allowing me to give you Reiki, your mind is probably all over the place. I do some things to help combat that, but let me give you this piece of advice. My Reiki master is the one that planted this seed, so I pass it on to other people. Please use this in your meditation routines. When something pops into your head, let's say you're sitting there, you've got your incense burning, you've got your candles lit, you're sitting on the floor, you've got you some, water or tea or something, and you're just really just trying to connect with the atmosphere and just get yourself into a calm state and everything else. But all of a sudden, you're sitting there and you think about, is that spaghetti in my refrigerator still good? I might eat that tomorrow for my lunch if it's all right. And that came out of nowhere. It's just random. You start thinking about that, or dang, did I take that chicken out the freezer so we can start thawing out and I can cook it tomorrow? And you start thinking about stuff like that. Don't get mad at that thought. What you do instead, take a deep breath, Tell that thought, thank you for showing up and reminding me of my humanity, and quietly show it the door. That's it. And go back to your breath. If you do that, instead of being in frustration, because we think that our minds are just going to shut off, they won't. They're not. Because if they shut off, we're dead. We're supposed to be thinking. We're thinking creatures. We're supposed to be thinking. And now that we're in this era of information that's thrown at us all day long, our minds are in overdrive. It's not that you want to quiet your mind, you just want to feel the peace and the calm within yourself. That's it. To be intentional. All right. So, doing things like that. Also, another thing to help your solar plexus, small acts of kindness. Listen to people without arguing. Stop giving away your energy on that. Feeling you got to argue with everybody, that you got to be right fighting. Right fighting is ruining your energy. The need to be right all the time, to prove everybody else wrong. Let me just free you for a minute. You have nothing to prove to anyone. You owe that to no one. I know it feels like we have to show people, we have to tell them off, we have to let them know how they pissed us off. And yes, you do need to express yourself. I'm not saying don't do that. But don't go to the extreme of every fight that you're invited to, you participate in it. Because I'm telling you, the question becomes, how much of this did you allow? Because then you start allowing your energy to get thrown off. You start allowing yourself to become imbalanced. You don't have to accept every invitation to the madness. You don't. Some of it you can just opt out and be like, you know what? I don't need that right now. I don't have the bandwidth for it. Do a bandwidth check. Do I have the bandwidth for this right now? And then do energy work. So do like visualization. Visualization in meditation is really good. Visualize yourself somewhere that gives you calm. Put yourself in the midst of a nice dewy meadow, surrounded by beautiful, like dandelions and stuff. Let there be a babbling brook that goes past you and that you hear the sounds of. You know, put yourself in that visual state, and that also helps in meditation. Think of that warm yellow light shining bright from the solar plexus. Not too bright, but just the softness to it. That can also help. The other things you can do is wear yellow, gold. Put those things on. Um, Goddess Ocean Summer says, I meditated by the water yesterday. It was so soothing. Yes, Goddess. Yes. Yes. Find the things that you can do to find your calm. Get you a yellow candle. Have, like I said, put something yellow on. Get yourself like some lemons and slice them up and boil them on your stove. Make a what's that? A simmer pot. Citrus is really good for the solar plexus. Citrus action, really good for the solar plexus. Have a banana, a yellow food. Have some yellow peppers. But doing those things can help your overactive solar plexus. So let's pull another card. so we can wrap up. Hope you all have enjoyed this message. So yes, the Lionsgate portal opens today. And then tomorrow is full moon in Aquarius. Peace to all the Aquarius out there. Now, the full moon energy is about releasing. So that gives you a great opportunity as this portal has now opened that you can start releasing the stuff that's not serving you. Releasing the things that's keeping you from stepping into your personal power. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Healing the heart. Healing the heart. The power of self-love. The power of self-love. So let's do this one. The priestess of personal power. How about that? Yeah. Brings you a message of hope and healing. Sacred geometry encases her upper 4 chakras with the lower circle moving through her heart center. This represents the healing energy coming to lift you up and bring you true peace and personal power. This priestess reveals the inner strength you can call upon to overcome past heartbreaks that may have left you hurt and full of longing. The pain could be from a recent breakup, or it may be the lingering ache from a love lost long ago. The scars in the heart center might even relate back to misinformation or mistreatment in childhood. In fact, issues of rejection, abandonment, and even betrayal may be driving your present perspective on love. These past experiences have caused shutting down reaction, an emotional resistance to love in spite of your mental desire for it. Now is the time to heal the old heart wounds and release the faulty conclusions that are actually blocking your desire. The circle of consciousness and thought represents your higher intentions where love is concerned. Within each powerful vortex of personal energy is the expanding strength of your relationship with yourself. You always have the choice to love and care for yourself, to vent your frustrations, and to take action on your own behalf. Take action on your own behalf. That is part of you stepping into your personal power. That's why I love that these 2 cards have come up to start and end this message, because it's sealing in the fact that you need to step into your personal power now than more than ever before, because this is going to give you what you need to start to love yourself again, to trust yourself again, to dream about the life that you want. Hey, her divine alchemy, what's going on? To love yourself, to trust your intuition, to step into your personal power like never before. The Lionsgate portal is open, my loves. It is time. Take in that energy and step into it fully. Let's heal our hearts, because if the bridge is out, none of these energies are healing. And for a lot of women, the bridge is out because past hurt and pain is keeping us from fully stepping into our power. We don't trust our intuition. We don't trust when our dreams are real. We don't trust when spirit is talking to us and telling us that, yes, this is your time to step forth into your power. Hello, Goddess Naylin. It's really important for us to really embody this energy. The circle of consciousness and thought represents your higher intentions where love is concerned. Within each power vortex's personal energy is expanding strength of your relationship with yourself. You always have the choice to love and care for yourself, vent your frustrations, and take action on your behalf. When you consciously release old fears and desperate needs, that's another thing. We have to make sure that we are not tea time beauty, what's up? We have to make sure that we're not doing something in the energy of desperation, because desperation also comes from that scarcity mindset, and that is also blocking your personal power. That is also blocking you from stepping into your personal power, because if you are desperate for something, that means that you are afraid of lack, and you are leaning into a scarcity mindset that's not serving you. So again, the portal is open today. Tomorrow is the full moon. This is the perfect opportunity for you to begin to release those things that are not serving you. Release that stuff that's up and around your heart, because it's keeping powerful energy from flowing from spirit into flesh and flesh into spirit. It's stopping it. Let's see. When you consciously release old fears and desperate needs, you will awaken the strong, autonomous person within, and your daily life force will project waves of joy and confidence. Two truly irresistible energies in the universe. So the heart and the solar plexus are really working in conjunction in this message. And you really need to step into that. So here's the affirmation: it is safe and comfortable for me to love and be loved. It is safe and comfortable for me to love and be loved. Here's the other part of the affirmation: I live in my personal power, loving and encouraging myself every single day. I live in my personal power, loving and encouraging myself every single day. I live in my personal power, loving and encouraging myself every single day. Every day. Live in your personal power. Stop letting the energy vampires take your power and get the best of you. The person that deserves the best of you is you. Stop judging yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. So that is the message. And I want to thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me. And I want to encourage you, if you would like to book a Reiki healing session, go to the link in my bio. I also have my membership that is open, and I have a bunch of other things that are available as well. My transition to a new platform is well on the way. I've been adding things to my link tree, so you can go and check out the different things that I have available. But I love you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you create, what you do as you're stepping into your power during this Lionsgate. So remember, the portal opens, it gets at its height, it reaches the height of it on August 8th, and then on the 12th, that is when the portal closes. Okay, so step into your power. When is your birthday, Goddess Naylin? Which day? Let me know. 8-8. All right, girl. See? Lionsgate. Mm-hmm. Powerful. All right, so the tube of you, I bid you adieu. Thank you for tuning in. See you all next